I had a mutual friend with Dr. Dre. I didn't know Dre at the time, but mutual friend. And he says, hey, you know, like Dre and Jimmy Iovine have Beats by Dre. They're based in LA. And they're going to start a music streaming service off of the back of Beats Electronics. And they're looking for a head of marketing. Reminder, this is January of 2014. And I'm in deep grief. Like, I can't even see straight.
Imagine, yeah.
And they're like, hey, look, you know, they want to make you an offer. And I'm like, oh, yeah? It's going to take a lot, you know? And I'm like kind of laughing, deranged, you know, sounding. And so I take a napkin. It's like a movie. I take a napkin. I write a huge number on the paper and I slide it back to the guy. And he's like, okay, I'll be right back. And this is during the Super Bowl. He goes, makes a call, he comes back, he's like, great, they accepted.
Damn.
And I'm like, so wait, so am I hired? Like, what are you talking about? So then I go home.
I'm sorry,
I'm like,
you probably don't want to get into numbers.
I can't give you the number.
7 figures?
But it was a very, very large number.
Dang.
And I was like,
yeah, I know.
So I go back home. I quit my job. You know, people are like, don't go. You know, stay here, like you're in grief, you know, you probably having a mental breakdown, so you probably sit down. I have a 4-year-old, I'm like, I'm moving, I'm going. So I started the job at Beats 4 months after my husband had died. And I walk into the office. By the time like I figure out where the lay of the land is, I get called into Jimmy and Dre's office and they're like, okay, well, we want you to meet somebody. You know, he's going to be here in an hour and you're the reason, like, he's the reason why we got you here. So I'm like, what the hell could it be? So I go back to my office. I'm kind of twiddling my thumbs, getting ready. They give me no information. So I can't even prep for the meeting, right? Call me an hour later. I come into the office. It's Tim Cook. And he's in the office and Tim is like,
Apple.
Yes. And Tim is like, is she the one? And they're like, yeah. Like, she knows big marketing. She also gets us. She understands this culture.
Wow.
And she's going to help us make sure that we develop the next greatest thing in streaming music. And Tim purchased Beats Music, which then became Apple Music. And he asked me to run Apple Music and iTunes.
Insane.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Woof.
So that's how I started running
yourself?
Apple Music and iTunes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your story is just so amazing. It just gets
so
better
crazy.
and better.
It's so
better.
good.
I mean,
It's crazy.
It's just like, how do you go back and like, where did you first realize that you had this marketing mind? Like, can you just see anything and go, I can make that better?
I really can. But I think that was
You're
early.
Like
I just
seasonal
didn't.
salt. Like, I can make that better.
What do you think about this sweatshirt?
I mean, I love that sweatshirt, actually.
You like the sweatshirt?
It's very good.
This is a
See, look at now,
154.
both of you like, oh, look at mine. It was better.
You get to purchase your 154
This is our
sweatshirt.
new merchandise line. So,
Is it?
What do you
it's our
think?
new
What do you think?
merchandise line right here.
Fantastic.
We got a nice cashmere sweat.
Look at that. That's
I love
pretty
that
hot.
Cashmere
That's me
and
more
the
style.
sweatshirt.
Boom. Got
So,
the.
You know,
well,
people-
give us your marketing. We're in a marketing
up?
meeting right
I
now.
know,
Might as well.
exactly.
So how do we market?
Well,
how do we market the
First of
154
all-
merch?
First of all, I'm so glad that you're actually wearing the merch.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe the amount of people who try to sell something and don't use it and don't wear it, don't talk about it. It's like, what the hell are you doing?
Okay,
You know,
right.
What's the point? You need to wear it all the time. And matter of fact, as soon as you get tired talking about it, that's just when you're just getting started.
That's when you're getting started.
That's when you're getting started. That's when
Okay.
you're, getting into people's minds with what you have going on. So
Okay.
you need to talk about it constantly.
All
Always
the
plug
time.
it.
Wear your own
Okay.
stuff.
All right. Wear your
Wear it.
own
Get
stuff.
high
You
on
see
your
me
own
wearing it
supply.
here.
Get high on your own supply. Oh,
You heard it right here.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
all
right.
right, cool.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. So the story doesn't stop there. You thought it was that was it. Like, I mean,
Oh, no.
Jimmy Iovine, Tim Cook, and then
Yeah.
doo-doom,
Yeah.
Do-do.
Netflix
Yes.
comes calling. How
Yeah.
did you make the jump from that having this successful swing? When
Yeah.
did you think this is the right time now to move to
I saw the
Netflix?
article on you too when you got it.
Oh, on Netflix?
sure
Yeah,
did.
I know.
Sure
that
did.
became a very big thing. Like, it was so shocking to me, you know?
Well, black person.
Yeah,
black
it's
woman.
true. I mean,
so
black woman,
I
the
literally
first-
read it.
What
I
was
read
the
it.
article that you
It's
read?
that she was the head of. I was like, oh wow, I remember. Now I'm like, oh,
it was so wild because
Yeah.
it was also
'Cause
at
you're
the
the first
start of
black-
the pandemic.
Yep.
I was the first black executive. And
yes,
C-suite
during
at
the
Netflix.
pandemic. Yep.
And it's so crazy because, and this is part of like, if I have a testimony, it is this, right? Which is that people will often tell you not to do the thing, the next thing that you're feeling called to do because they want to use logic, but logic is actually not what gets you the magic. You know, the magic is given to you, and then you need to follow that. And everybody doesn't have it. So how will they even recognize it? How will they feel it? You know, and usually it does feel uncomfortable. It's not something that is like certain and you're like, oh, I must go, I must do this. You know, it's a very uncomfortable feeling. And so in each job change that I've had, people have been like, no, don't do that. You know, when I was going from Pepsi to
like, why would you leave
with
Pepsi?
Jimmy and Dre, they were like, are you absolutely out of your mind? Like, you've got 4 Super Bowls lined up. You're going to quit and go work for Dr. Dre? Like at Beats Electronics? You're going to go sell headphones? You know? And then, look, boom, I'm running Apple Music and iTunes.
Man. What was it in the gut? Because I think this is the important thing. If we take anything away, because I heard you once say this before, is like lean less on logic and really dig into the instincts.
Yes.
And I thought that was interesting, but some people don't know what instincts feel like.
Yes, what they feel like.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Now, by the way, I've done a TED Talk on this. By the way.
I've watched.
However,
we're gonna watch it.
I watched.
How long is it?
It's 12 minutes and 13 seconds.
Did you do a TED Talk?
No, but I watched.
Okay. No, you look like you'd be a great TED Talker. I want to talk about merch.
Actually, you would.
Huh?
Actually, you would be.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
You know what? The thing about intuition and instinct is that I don't actually have to describe it to you. You know what it feels like. You just ignore it all the time. And I like to give this analogy, right? Which is like, okay, we're in California. Okay, let's pretend you have a friend who's from Michigan. And they call you at, in February. And they're like, I'm coming to visit. What should I pack? And you're like, oh, bring a sweater and, some long johns and, some boots because it's cold. And they're coming from Michigan. They show up here. It's 70 degrees.
Good.
And they're like, you told me to pack a sweater and why would you do that? And you're like, oh, well, because it's cold to me. Well, that's how instinct works. It's like you're depending on somebody else to tell you what you would have known if you had simply asked a different question. Wow. If you simply said, what is the temperature?
Wow.
Instead of what should I pack?
Oh, that's a good
right.
And so for me, I'm like, instinct and intuition is always like that. Instead of asking somebody, should I take this job? Should I date this person? Should I go to this meeting? Should I go to this party? Should I wear this thing? It's like, ask questions that are going to help you make your decision.
Right.
Because you actually do have the answer. And then stop relying on logic. Don't do the pro and con list because you're obviously talking yourself into a bad idea or talking yourself out of a very good one.
But what about data? Because, sometimes, like I have this show concept idea and people go, the data says that, they're not watching this or they don't want this.
Yes.
And then you go, how do you go against that when the data says otherwise?
Well, the data is based on the past.
Right.
And what you're trying to do is talk to the future.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if you just relied on data all the time, you'd always get it wrong. Just look to 2020. It's like all of us, every marketer, every TV exec, everybody, who had anything to do with strategic plans failed that year.
Yeah.
Because it's like we all had 5-year plans. And then it was like, oh, shoot, the world has shut down. And only the people who were really good at instinct won at that time.
154, we all connected, baby, you already know. I'm talking 154, we bringing Africa around the whole globe. Ain't no place like home.